What is up, guys? It's DJ Rick Webb here. Welcome to the setup breakdown video. So this is basically a video that goes with the main video and explains a complete breakdown of how the power, the lights, what all we're using, how it's wired, and very detailed breakdown of all the details of this event. So watch through all the details here and make sure you go check out the main video. Annotations for that are at the end of this video. We're gonna go on a little tour of the setup. First thing, I'm going to explain all the lighting that we're using, and then I will explain the cabling of the lighting, and then we'll dive into the power and the audio. So stay tuned. This is going to be a long, detailed segment of what a rig like this is set up, and just a little insight on, like, this is very similar to what SLM does. It's basically the same damn package, just different lights. Well, I mean, the bars are Doug, so, and some of the Chauvet slim parts, but a lot of the lighting is my company's and mine. So it's a big collab of a bunch of lighting. All the trussing's ours, the pipe and drape, all that's ours. So we're gonna dive in here, go really detailed into what this setup looks like. And if you guys are curious, a setup like this takes with about 3 to 4 people working on it, about 6 hours to set up. Let's get into it. All right, we're gonna start on the right side because that's where we're basically, this is how we set it up, whatever. Also, these are not raised up. I'm leaving them down so that we can tweak them because we haven't actually fully DMX'd these yet, to make sure everything is working before we actually raise them up. Obviously, we can't raise that down, so, and we actually do have to mess with those. On this right here, trussing wise, this is a 3-meter section, which is about 10 foot. We have, these are, I got a Chauvet ColorBand Pix-m's. These are Doug's. We are running 2 of those. They're on a 1.5 meter pole that comes down. They're clamped onto. Inside of the truss there are 2 Chauvet 56 slim bars. Those are going to do truss warming. We have 2 Blizzard HotBox EXA. That's 6-in-1 LEDs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 diodes on there. They're really bright. Right here is a Martin Rush MH2. Very bright, very quick fixture. It's a wash fixture. Okay, this is a good point to explain why there's so much wash fixtures, and I'm getting blinded right now. We tried really hard to get haze approved here. If you guys remember from the big ginormous homecoming or prom that we did here with the X truss over the thing, link to that video right there. That video got blown up, is blown up. We couldn't use haze there. I tried really hard. I tried to get approval to get a fire marshal in here, and basically it came down to the principal will not let us do it. So there's no haze here. So we switched out a lot of the moving heads that we were going to use. We were originally going to use 4 MH1s on this main hang, which are, we have MH1s here, so I'll show you the comparison, but we switched out. We're doing a lot of wash fixtures instead. All right, that's the lighting on this hang right here. These are Pro X. All the trussing and all the rigging here is by Pro X, just like the other one. These are 200-pound cranks. Here we have a 2.5 meter section with a 1 meter section and a coupler on the top that equivalates to about 14 feet, I think 14 feet in the air. So going from right to left here, up inside of there are my American DJ Mega Tri-Par Pluses. Tri-Par Profile Pluses, I think is the actual name. There's one there, and there's one on the far end doing the truss warming on the main hang. We intended to use 500-pound crank stands to run those up, but like I said, the crank stands are already were rented out, so we cannot use those. So we opted to do this with these base plates, and there's also safety cables right there running up attached to the beams on the ceiling for extra precaution. There's 2 on both sides, just because those base plates probably are not the best suited for this application. Running across truss wise, there's 3 3-meter sections making up about 30 feet across on the span. Similar to the side ones, we have color Pix-m's. We have 4 of those across there. We also have HotBox EXAs, and I need to go up there and fix that cabling. That's all falling out. But we have 6 of those across the top. Then we have, these are generic Chinese-based 36 diodes. They're RGBW diodes in there, and those are zoom washes, 10 watts a piece on each one of those 36 diodes. They are very, very bright fixtures, and they're moving heads. So we have 4 of those, and originally we were going to use MH1s, which are right there, which you guys can see size-wise. MH1s are huge. So that's the 30-foot main hang. Now moving down, we have a 2-meter totem right here. On the 6-foot totem, we have another color Pix-m right here. And we have a Martin Rush MH1 that is a spot moving head. Very bright fixture as well. And we got 2 slim par 56s and another American DJ Mega Tri-Par Plus. Moving over to the lighting on my DJ rig here. So to make up this DJ rig, we'll explain the stage too. So we have 3 4x8 sections of stage. To go over the stage, we have a 1-meter section on both sides and a corner coupler and 2 meters, which is 12 foot across. Actually, it's a little bit more than 12 foot, which gets us perfectly outside of the stage. Works out great. So if you guys want to do this with a 12 by 8 stage, you're gonna need 2 2-meter sections, corners, and 1 meters to get you this DJ booth look. And the idea of doing this outside, off the side of the actual stage, is good, because if there's any vibration, you're jumping around on the stage, it will not move your console or any of the lighting, which is great. Lighting wise, these are my American DJ Par Profiles. The originals, we have 2 of those doing truss warming on both sides, 1 here, 1 there. So 1 shooting up, 1 shooting across, 1 shooting across, 1 shooting up. Then on top we have my American DJ Inno Spot Pros. Nice little addition here on the sides. And then Doug has me putting, there's 2 of his slim par 56s facing on me. SE case in the middle, we'll get into that when we talk about audio. Same thing over here. Over here again we have an MH1, 2 slim par 56s, another Pix-m, American DJ Mega Par Profile. Same up on the main truss. And then we have another one of the identical 3-meter sections with the 2 HotBox EXAs. We have the slim par 56s, we got the ColorBands on. That is all the lighting that we are running. Since we're already on lighting, let's now talk about how it's all cabled, wired, and hooked up. Well, here's a nice shot of the whole rig for you guys from that back. Back here is our front of house, which I still need to move the facade up. That is my facade, my table. This is Doug's road case right here. Probably said a million times already, but Doug, SLM Entertainment, one of the main dudes there. Alex is the other guy. They're brothers, just like me and Michael. But so he's here running lighting for me. He's doing all the lighting. He brought some of the lighting as well. He came in. He's not in here yet because he had a 5-hour drive here yesterday from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania to get to Cambridge, Ohio. Well, actually, it's Marietta, Ohio. We're in Marietta, Ohio. I'm based out of Cambridge. But yeah, he had a 5-hour drive. We were here pretty late last night. We went to DJ Associates. We talked there for a while, just basically catching up, getting to know each other a little bit. But so he's sleeping in a little bit, and he won't be here until probably around like 2 or 3 o'clock. So when he gets here, we'll actually, I'll see if he will make a little spiel on here to explain Avalights and how he runs his lighting, so you guys can actually get a little behind the scenes of how his lighting works. Alrighty, so back here, this is where his whole console, laptop, and everything will be, looking at the main rig, which is awesome. So in terms of how we're running wiring for the lighting, we have 2 universes, 2 512 universes. So we have 2 DMX cords here that are coming out of his main rig, or his Avalight controller. We also have power running to him because he needs power to. And these cables run all the way around. We have, it's I think 150 feet on both of those DMX cables running around the outside perimeter here. It comes all the way around. It goes behind the rig, and then it comes out over here. Like I said earlier, there's 2 universes, the Pix-Ms, just so you guys get an idea here when I start explaining. All of the Pix-Ms are connected together to make one universe. All of the other lighting is connected together to make another universe. So this is where the Pix-M DMX starts. So it comes in, goes to this Pix-M, comes out, goes to this Pix-M, comes out, runs over to this Pix-M, comes out, runs up, runs over, connects that Pix-M to that Pix-M to that Pix-M to that Pix-M, comes out, runs up to the totem, runs to that one, comes out, runs over to that, and connects the last 2 Pix-M. That's how the DMX is running on the Pix-Ms. Now, all the other lighting is on another universe. AKA, here comes in the splitter. So this is where the DMX cord comes in on the other universe. This is the DMX splitter. This is my company's Chauvet splitter. It's also a D-Stream one, so you could do wireless DMX with this, but we're doing wired. So the DMX in comes in here, and then it can link out to all 6 channels. We're running 4 different channels here out of this unit. One of those comes out, runs over up to this unit, and all of these are connected together, and the correct channels are addressed to them according to Doug's mapping back in Avalite. Now, another one of these comes out, this one's a longer run, connects this one to this one to this one, connects all these together, comes over, connects all of these together, and then comes out and runs up into the other totem and connects all of those lights together. A third one goes up to the main hang, connects all these other lights together. Again, not the Pix-ms, just all the pars and the moving heads, connects them all together. And another DMX one runs back, comes all the way around, and goes over to this side hang over here and runs all the DMXing for the lights on these ones except for the Pix-m. So now we've explained how the DMX cords are ran. So now I'm going to talk about our speakers and how those ran, and then we'll tie it all together with how we are running all of the circuits and the power at this venue. Speaker wise, from left to right, it might be better to explain this later on. So when you guys see the pictures and videos later, I'm going to probably go over the speakers one last time of what speakers we're running, because like I said, they're not all here yet. We're using a combination of my speakers and DJ Associates speakers. If you guys remember from the prom, we used purely DJ Associates speakers at this gig, and it worked out great, but there's only about 250 kids coming to their prom. We have 500 to 550 coming to this homecoming, so we need way more sound. We are running the SRX tops, one on both sides. We are also running right here on this side, on the left, right of the main hang and the left of the main hang, we're going to be doing a SRX 728 dual 18 right here with a SRX 722, which is a dual 12-inch and a horn top. That is going to be mirrored on the other side, and we have the other SRX over there. In the center, we're going to be doing some center fill. The VRX subs are going to be running as center fills to fill in the bass in between the 2 SRXs. I'm going to really dive into the DBX Driverack, as I will have independent control on the SRX tops. The 728s and the 722s are going to be on a separate one, and the VRX subs are going to be a different one. Disclaimer, this is not the sound rig we wanted to run. The SRX 722 tops do not have pole mounts, so we can't put them on poles. So we need to set them on top of something, and the 728 subs are the best option. Ideally, what we wanted to do was run 4 728s. My company has 4 of them. Run 4 728s right there, 4 18s, and then we were going to do 722s on poles and the 815s as side fills on the side. We can't do that due to the last minute stuff, but I already know from prom when we did it with the dual 18s on the sides and that, it sounded great. It sounded awesome. And adding the VRX subs, even if I don't use the VRX subs, I'll shut them off if I have to, if it's causing frequencies, but I'll deal with that later. So coming back to an audio perspective of how it's all wired, the DBX Driverack that I have in there has 6 outputs. These 2 are my SRX 815 outputs. These 2 are running back to the amp rack that we're gonna have, which I will show you guys in a second when we talk about power. And I'll show you guys the actual amp rack and the 728s later as well. And then these 2 run straight down to the VRX subs. Like I said, we got the DBX Driverack PA2 here. Now the amp rack's also going to have its own drive rack, but I'm going to be feeding it a flat signal, and we can do EQing on it or EQing on this, so it's going to be fine. Pioneer SZ, going to be running my HP laptop using Serato. GTD Audio wireless microphone system. I don't think I will be using any handheld mics, any wired mics at this actual venue. I think I'm going to use purely my wireless mics. I think that's pretty good enough for now. Like I said, I'm going to talk about audio again later on when we get all the audio actually in here and set up. Let's go over to, well, we're going to start again on the right here, and we're going to talk about all of the circuits and power that we're running at this venue. As you guys remember, we had a big issue with those dual 18s last time, tripping that one breaker. Since then, it has all been corrected. The issue is fine now. Basically, what happened was we were running on a 15 amp circuit, and it will trip a 15 amp circuit pretty easily, but it can run on a 20 amp circuit. So we're hooking it up to a 20 amp circuit this time, and hopefully we will have no issues. And also having the VRX subs as more bass, we shouldn't have to push them as hard. Okay, row cases, row cases, row cases. So as far as circuits go in this place, we have 7 total. There's one there, one on that side of that wall, one on that wall, 2 of them on the back wall, and then 2 of them right here. We're using 4 on the main floor. We're using 6 total, but we're gonna, right there is one of them that feeds down here. We're using extremely heavy duty, I believe it's 10 gauge wire here. This is concert touring grade wiring that we're running. All right, that is one circuit. That circuit right there is feeding all the power for the main hang and this side hang. Moving on back behind here, we have another circuit right here. This is where we're going to talk about the amp rack. We have one circuit here and one circuit over there. These 2 circuits are feeding the amp rack that is going to be right here. These are the DMX, or not DMX, these are the XLRs coming out of my mixer that are going to the amp rack. Amp rack's going to sit here. The amp rack has the 2 amps, the bi-amp, the 722s, and the 1 amp that's going to be running both the dual 18s. Now these extension cords are sitting here because we have to run down to the basement down there on both sides and run 2 more circuits up. So that way on this back wall, the whole reason why we set up on this back wall at every time we come here is because we can utilize 4, if not 6 circuits just on this back wall. There are 2 below on both sides that we can bring up using some heavy duty extension cords and bring up 2 more additional 15 and a 20 amp circuit. So we can utilize 6 of them on this back wall if we really want to. That circuit that's going to come up there is going to come up and run this totem. It's going to run everything here. It's going to run my mixer. It's going to run that. It's going to run this totem. And it's going to run the 2 VRX subs. And that's all that's going to be on that circuit. So moving along here, we got another circuit right there that's feeding the amp rack. And then down on this side to the basement, we're going to be pulling up another circuit. And that circuit right there is purely an additional extra circuit in case we need it. That is the last circuit that we're using. That one comes down on the heavy duty extension cords, and this one is feeding both of the SRX tops. It runs to this one and that one, and it's feeding this truss hang. I'm gonna put on some music. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up this mess of get that facade all set, ready to go, and yeah, I'll check back in when we start setting up the sound. Okay guys, I ended this little breakdown setup video with that nice little clip there at the end that you can hear just what my SRXs and VRXs, VRX subs, SRX tops sound like in that room together. And me and Doug were actually listening to them, and we were pretty impressed with what the VRX subs can do in an open air setting like that. It sounded really good. Definitely cannot do the amount of people that we do in this gig. If you saw the main video already, or if you're going to see the main video, we definitely cannot handle that many people with that sound rig. But definitely good enough to get up to probably 300 kids in that room. Sounds pretty good. Anyways, that's the end of this breakdown setup video. If you guys have not checked out the main video, click the link right there. It'll take you back to the main video, right at the point where this video is supposed to be inserted in that clip. So click the link right there. It'll take you right back to the video so you guys can check out what's going on there. If you guys want to start from the beginning of the video, you can click that and scroll back, or the video is also linked at the end of this video. Anyways guys, my name is DJ Rick Web. Keep the record spinning, and I will see you guys in the main video and in the next video. Peace.